After being reborn, my 7 older sisters became my faithful licking dogs. The eldest sister, who has always been cold-faced and ruthless, suddenly transferred 10 million to me. He also said that he would divide half of the company's shares with me. The second and third sisters rushed to take me to school. You also have to help me with my homework. What puzzles me even more, the fifth and sixth sisters, who hate me the most, said he was afraid that I would have nightmares at night. Take turns sleeping with me and protecting me. I just want to get away from them as soon as possible in this life. Because in my previous life, I was stolen from someone when I was a child. The Du family went to the adoption home to adopt a boy, to replace my existence. When I was found by my biological parents to return to the Du family, Du has become the treasure of 7 sisters and parents. It is also seen by the sisters more important than their lives. I've always been careful to please my sisters. Not only is it not recognized by them, they also slandered me as competing with my adoptive brother for favor. He even hated me to the core. Later, Du and I had a car accident at the same time. Because the hospital blood bank is insufficient, Du and I happen to be blood type C. Sisters who learned the news immediately asked me to donate blood to Du. The reason is that Du is terminally ill. More than I am, we need love and salvation. I'm a normal person, and it's definitely okay to carry it more. As a younger brother, I was used up. He was left aside and left unattended. Wait for blood to come to the blood bank. I've passed away in the ICU. Now I'm 17 years old again. Quarreled with Du. On this day, the eldest sister was angry and sent me to the police station. I want Uncle Hat to help teach me a lesson. But I don't cry or make trouble. Admit your mistakes. Soon the uncles were sent home. As soon as you enter the house, I saw the eldest sister Du linger with her hands on her chest. I was questioned from above, did I know I was wrong? Stomach ache with a broken picture frame in his hand. Standing beside her aggrievedly. Big sister, you dissipate your anger. It's all my fault. I accidentally broke my brother's things. I'm sorry, I suddenly apologized. I shouldn't be angry with Brother Wisteria about this. This picture frame was not intended to have any meaning. My voice was remarkably calm. It's like 2 people who are arguing with reason just now. Du was very satisfied with this effect. It's good that you know it's wrong. Go back to your room and reflect. There is also that picture of mountains and rivers in spring. As your compensation to Brother Wisteria, give it to him. A look of greed flashed in Du eyes. At this time, a strange feeling rose in my heart. In the last life, all the good things of the Du family were given to Du. And the painting wasn't worth much at the time. So I was randomly stuffed by my eldest sister. But after the death of the original author, suddenly, the market value of the painting soared. But I don't want the Du family's things in this life. Then here you go. One more thing. Du pursed her lips. Opened up again about your marriage contract with Qin Jian. Brother Wisteria figured it out. He will be decreed on your behalf. You have set the marriage engagement. I'm 100% sure of that. Du was also reborn. The Qin family and the Du family have been friends since their grandfathers. In this area, a baby pro was set. My fate is uncertain after I was stolen. So the doll fell to Du. Can be in recent years. The Qin group has encountered a bottleneck. Development is getting worse and worse. Du looked down on the declining Qin group. So he's been trying to push the marriage back to me. Before, I had no love for Qin Jian. Qin Jian is the eldest lady again. But in order to please the family, I had to endure it. Now my stomach hurts. The reason why the doll was snatched back again. Because she knows. In the future, Qin's group will return to the top. Even higher than the Dutch group. But what she didn't know was, I have a lot of credit for this. Even she was born again. But simply snatched the marriage back. Useless. I didn't show any flaws on the surface. Reply is fine. I'll go upstairs first. Du was overjoyed in his heart. In my previous life, although I was forced to donate blood to Du, but he still didn't take it. He passed away a few days later. When he woke up, he was reborn to this day. Du Chuan. I was born again in this life. You are even less likely to be my match. In your last life, you played a bad hand and became a king. Now I break your retreat in advance. See how you roll over. I went back to my room. Lying on the bed, carefully combing the front and back. I'm in my 3rd year of high school right now. Soon the college entrance examination. As for those 7 sisters, since they don't treat me as family, then I don't want them. Live only for your own future. When he was admitted to university, he severed ties with the Du family. Get out of here. As for the equally reborn, my stomach hurt so much that I guard against him. Suddenly, the door was hammered with madness. Get up and open the door. I saw the angry face of the second sister Du. Du Chuanmin is so bold. Dare to scold brother Wisteria. I almost wanted to laugh when I heard it. Brother, yes. Du Zidong is the younger brother. On the contrary, I, who are related to the Du family, are related. Not even their dogs deserve it. What kind of expression do you have? Doing such an excessive thing to brother Wisteria. Is there no repentance at all? You know that brother Wisteria is terminally ill. Du Xinling intuition. The Du Chuan in front of him seemed to be a little different. When I first came back to Du's house, although timid, but for these 7 sisters, it is flattering in every way. He also treats Du Zidong's younger brother as his own brother. After knowing that Du Zidong had a terminal illness, is desperate to be good to her. Their 7 sisters discussed it privately. I always felt that I had ulterior motives. Because I grew up in an orphanage in the countryside. Received a low level of education. Maybe I've learned some bad habits. Unclean hands and feet. If it weren't for my parents' insistence. Get me back. They don't want me to go back to Du's house. I'm afraid he'll compete with his terminally ill fake brother for favor. What to do if your stomach ache worsens? So the more I pleased them, the older sisters. They thought of Du Zidong's choice. The more I felt that I was holding back a bad stomach. I'm sorry, second sister. I've already apologized to my eldest sister and younger brother. I spoke lightly. There is no longer the feelings of the past. It's like treating a stranger. I didn't expect my apology to be so good. At this time, Du Xinglin wanted to free up his breath for Du Zi. There's no reason for it. Even though he wanted to give me a slap in the face. Let me recognize my status in the Du family. It can't be compared with Du Zidong at all. There will be another time. I definitely won't let it go. Let's go down and eat. The second sister glared at me viciously. Then turn around and go downstairs. The sound of my barrage drifted over again. There will be no next time. In my heart. The Du family no longer makes sense. Who would rejoice or mourn for these people? The second sister's heart jumped. He looked back at me sharply. See me with my head down. Obediently followed. The second sister muttered strangely. What did Du Chuan say just now? Or was he hallucinating? Wait for me to go downstairs with my second sister. With a stomachache, he immediately stepped forward. Carefully bring the frame to me. Brother Du Chuan. I'm really sorry. It was I who accidentally broke your frame. I've done my best to fix it. I'll give it back to you, please don't get angry anymore, okay? Wisteria was really scared. Coco Wisteria brother. Why did you fix the frame yourself? You don't know you're not in good health. Do you need more rest? The second sister opened her mouth distressedly. At the same time, I hate me even more. Stomach ache and shook his head vigorously. The second sister is fine. It's my fault. I should bear it. 3 words came to my mind about blue-green tea. I couldn't help but sigh. It turns out that there are really no women for men. A person's business may hurt the stomach. The heart never put me in his eyes. After all, he only needs half a summer to be pitiful. The Du family will be angry for him one after another. Rubbed me the ground. Okay, I took the frame. Maintained a distance not far from Du Zidong. The second sister frowned fiercely. Brother Wisteria specially repaired a tattered photo frame for you. You're just dead. Don't forget, Du Chuan. You're the older brother. Don't forget. Brother Wisteria is not in good health. What if something bad happens? Second sister, don't be like this. Du Zidong opened his mouth weakly. Thank you, Brother Wisteria. Du Chuan put the picture frame aside. The second sister snorted coldly. If it weren't for Du Zidong's opening to intercede for Du Chuan, he wouldn't let me go so easily. At the dinner table, I lowered my head and ate 1 bite at a time. It's all a rotten transparent person. If you don't say it, you can't do it, and you can't go wrong. Eldest sister. Du Linger talked to the second sister of the lawyer about the company. Mom and Dad are now going abroad. Busy with overseas business. Company power. are all supported by Du Linger, the eldest sister and president. Look at me and pay no attention to anything. The second sister is unhappy again. He still looks like a victim. It's really hard to see. So the second sister deliberately asked Brother Wisteria, "How have you been doing in school lately? Have fun." Du Wisteria is a sophomore in high school this year. She smiled and replied happily, "Second sister, I won the first place in the whole grade this time." "Wow, that's amazing. Now the second sister has to give you a big red envelope." Du Xinling touched her head dotingly. Smug glance. "In the gap between you and Du Zidong. I had mediocre grades. But the drawing is great. So it's a course class. But the second sister still thinks so. I relied on the connections of the Du family before attending a key high school. So contrasted. He prefers to be well-behaved and sensible. Du Zidong, who knows the roots and is smart and hardworking. As a result, I listened. There was no reaction at all. Still eating with his head down. Du Chuan Wisteria is so good. You as an older brother. I shouldn't have complimented my brother. The second sister couldn't see me ignoring him so much. Deliberately disgusting Du Chuan. People are strange creatures. I used to please my second sister in every possible way. He thinks I have ulterior motives. Angrily yelling at me not to come near him. As a result, I am now suddenly a different person. Quiet, well-behaved and not troublesome. And do not please him. On the contrary, the second sister felt like a piece was missing in her heart. But he won't admit that he is cheap. Even Du Wisteria looked at me thoughtfully. This is different from Du Chuan in the previous life. What the hell is going on? Second sister, don't be like this. Brother Du Chuan is also very powerful. Able to draw with courage. Let the amnesiac accept Du Chuan's brother into the senior high school specialty class. No matter how good you are at drawing. Is it comparable to the development of moral and intellectual sports? You say yes. Second sister Du Chuan's eyes were fixed on me. I just wanted to see my embarrassed expression. Let me know. I don't have the qualifications to show my face at the Du family at all. Brother Wisteria is very powerful. In full. Let's go back to the room first. I complimented my second sister for a stomachache. Then get up and go back to the room. The second sister's punch seemed to hit the cotton. Fluffy. Not to mention how uncomfortable it is. I'm so angry that I can't eat dinner today. Second sister, what's wrong with you today? The eldest sister clearly saw it. The second sister's mental state is not as calm as usual. It's not Du Chuan's fault. If it weren't for the stinky face she had. Where could I be so angry? It's obviously all her fault. It looks like our whole family owes him. The second sister couldn't stop complaining. Du Chuan has been educated by the police. This is the end of the matter. Do you want Brother Wisteria to continue to be embarrassed? The eldest sister spoke coldly. The second sister slammed it. I took a look at my stomachache. A grieved look. The son did not dare to speak. But in my heart I secretly put this account on my head. After eating. The second sister saw the photo frame that I casually put aside. Suddenly I was out of breath. Picked up the picture frame and rushed to the door of my room. Knock on the door to vent the dissatisfaction in your heart. I opened the door and asked if something was wrong. Brother Wisteria specially repaired the photo frame for you. Why not pick it up? It's nothing to just throw it aside. You deliberately hurt your brother today. Obviously, this frame is not important to you at all. Forget that I don't want to pay attention to the second sister of the mad dog. Reach for the frame. The second sister was so angry that she directly smashed the photo frame to the ground. Okay, you don't fight and don't recruit yourself. You deliberately targeted your brother today. You deserve to be in the police station. I'm going to put you in jail for a few days. Educate well. Photograph of broken glass. My smiling face. Only then did the second sister see the framed photo. He suddenly panicked. In my heart after all. How important they are to their families. Otherwise, how could it be difficult to please? Humility seeks perfection. This is the only family photo of the Du family and me. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is my most important treasure. Now this family photo has been ruined by him. The second sister racked her brains and just wanted to explain something. It's something you broke down. Clean up and throw the trash can. I haven't done my homework yet. I'm going to school tomorrow. I closed the door without hesitation. The second sister was left alone to stand outside. Du Chuan didn't care at all. Obviously, this is a family portrait of the only one. Du Chuan seems to have really changed. After realizing this possibility, the second sister didn't know how. I felt a little panicked in my heart. The next day I woke up on time and came down for breakfast. Sister 12 is facing a stomachache and asks for warmth. See me coming. He thought about the family photo he had smashed last night. I don't care. The sour and uncomfortable feeling in my heart resurfaced. I deliberately sat in the corner to eat. Distanced myself from them. Stomach ache cease. Attribute it all to the butterfly effect. It was his rebirth. It led to a subtle change in my personality. He didn't think of me as a rebirth. Otherwise, where will I put the landscape love spring picture with the marriage contract of love Jane? Give it up. Pretty good. He snatched back everything that belonged to him. In this life, he just needs to be kind to Qin Jian. Wait for the Qin group to develop. He's a complete winner in life. It is an existence that I cannot surpass even if I die. Young Master Du Jiajin. How about keeping the blood of the Du family? It's not that he was trampled under his feet by a stomachache. The second sister pinched a piece of bread and stuffed it into her mouth. Now I'm completely different. Let the second sister be unpredictable. In the past, it was seen as an ulterior motive. Pleasing their stinky brother. Now it's quiet and terrible. It seems to be in my world. Their families have become irrelevant. No matter how hard he tried, it was good for his stomach to hurt. Can't get me back a look. I'm full. After packing up your things, I picked up my bag and left. The corners of the second sister's mouth twitched. Suddenly opened Du Chuan. I threw yesterday's stuff in the trash. The second sister naturally refers to the family photo. When it came to me before, my heart was full of joy. I also deliberately found a photo frame to frame it. It was placed in the most prominent position in the room. The second sister went to my room once. See me smirk at the family photo. I couldn't help but feel nauseous. If you lose it, you lose it. I spoke indifferently. Disappeared directly from the sight of the second sister. The second sister was stunned in place. Sudden stomach ache. The sound of coughing pulled back the second sister's thoughts. You're coughing again. Wait until the family doctor arrives. Let him take a good look at it for you. His stomach hurt and he lowered his head guiltily. I'm sorry for the second sister me. The body is too weak. Always worries you. Silly boy, you're our brother. We as sisters don't care who you care about. With a stomachache, she happily threw herself into the arms of the second sister. I took the opportunity to ask for an invitation. The requirement to cultivate feelings well. Hope while you are alive, I can give more invitations, a little companionship and happiness. But the second sister was moved to tears. I'll arrange for you to meet. Wisteria brother. You really don't like invitations. Don't grieve yourself. Do you know that this marriage is really too wrong, Wisteria? In his heart. It's time for me to go to that down and out family to suffer. By this time I had caught the bus. I found a place to sit down. The next stop is up. A beautiful figure. Wearing a frustrated school uniform. Wearing headphones. Holding a paper novel. Domestic school uniforms are ugly and varied. It's just that some people have a bad look. I can wear it beautifully. The ponytail is tied with a red ribbon. The girl's clear appearance. There is a faint fragrance on the body. And a pair of beautiful legs wrapped in a school uniform skirt. It is enough to attract the attention of countless people. I fixed my eyes on it. It is the flower of our school, Lu Shutan. Although Lu Shutan is a repeat senior in high school, but it has already relied on excellent results. Get an early admission to Tsinghua University. Last life. I was thinking about how to please my 7 sisters. In this life, I didn't even notice that Lu Shutan was so close to me. It was also before that I deliberately waited for my stomach to hurt and went to school together. As a result, I had a stomachache and went to school and was picked up by a driver. And I can only take the bus. My sisters said they wanted to train me. Then, I was so stupid to believe their words. I thought it was the result of the trial my sisters gave me. He, eccentricity is eccentricity. I'm too lazy to pay attention to Willow Hall though. A woman like this has nothing to do with me. All I think about is drawing. In the previous life, although people lived stupidly, pigs have a little bit of a good one. It's that my painting skills have been trained more exquisitely. Mature this time. My goal. It is to be admitted to the best art school in the country. Fulfilled the previous regrets. I didn't notice it in the slightest. Lu Shuan looked at the afterglow of the novel, silently looking at my sideways. There are different colors in his eyes. Come to the classroom. I sat by the window. Most of the students in number 1 high school are either rich or expensive. Received an elite education from an early age. There is a small circle that belongs to the qualifications. It is vividly displayed in the special class that walks on the elevated road. But my sisters didn't allow me to be exposed. I am a true girl of the Du family. I'm afraid to give Du Zidong, who is also in the same middle, causing unnecessary discrimination and distress. The reason is the same. Du Zidong has a terminal illness. He couldn't stand the stimulation. Yun, I still believe it. It's ridiculous. Hours of professional classes. I waited with the tools. Today, the teacher assigns the project. A familiar figure walked into the class. Ms. Wang has been feeling unwell lately. I'm going to substitute for you for the time being. The person who spoke was none other than Du Qingqing, the 5th elder of the Du family. He wears a professional white-collar outfit, wearing glasses. But it is difficult to hide Du Qingqing's beautiful face. Under the glasses, a pair of cold eyes are full of sweat from time to time. Not to be underestimated. It's too unlucky. I met Mr. Du. It was a sad time in my senior year of high school. I hope Mr. Wang will come back to work soon in good health. Said that I met such a beautiful teacher. Many male classmates are secretly happy in their hearts. Unfortunately not. Du Qingqing is cold, unreasonable, and the identity is 5,000 gold of the Dutch group. No one dares to provoke. Carrying her to class is like going to jail, for fear of making a mistake. It's too tormenting. Listen to the complaints of the people around you. I just shook my head. What they don't know is, such a cold and unsympathetic woman, in the case of stomach aches, will selectively bypass the previous life. I went to the sports day with a stomachache, in order to get compliments from my sisters. I wake up early and go to bed late to exercise. I ran as hard as I could. I thought I could get the sincerity of my sisters. As a result, the sisters gathered around the stomachache. Said that the stomach hurt and the performance was awesome this time. I can still run so well if I don't have a good physique. He also said that I was too utilitarian and risky. In order to run a drip, all kinds of secret efforts. I knew that my stomach hurt and I was terminally ill. Live strongly. I also steal the limelight from my stomachache. Is it deliberately embarrassing to have a stomachache? Such words. It came out of Du Qingqing's mouth. Falling into the ears of others is like a bolt from the blue. Participated in the sports meeting and took a drop. If you don't praise it, forget it. Also criticized my efforts. What kind of family is this? It turns out that in the hearts of cold people, there will be people who are favored. It's just that that person is not my own brother. It's a fake brother. A terminal illness with stomachache is not a gold medal for avoiding death. I'm not trying to get it from Du Zidong. Rob the Du family of attention and favor. But as a younger brother, ask for a little attention with relatives. That's it, they don't bother to say goodbye. I didn't want Du Qingqing to see me with my head down. The brow does not leave a trace, if you can. Du Qingqing wanted to go to Du Zidong's class. Personally cultivated and led Du Zidong. Spend the most important years of high school. The doctor said that Du Zidong would not live to be 30 years old. Du Qingqing just wants to have Du Zidong's limited life. Give him the greatest happiness and light. So Du Qingqing, a high-achieving student who graduated from Tsinghua University. I went to teach at a high school. As a result, the school happened to be short of an art teacher. Can only be given to him temporarily. Du Qingqing's personality does not allow him to be selfish. Flee when you need him. Just to satisfy selfish desires. Be that as it may. Du Qingqing has to see me being flattered by me. I don't know. Is it an illusion? Du Qingqing walked into the classroom. My eyes didn't stay on Du Qingqing's body for a moment. But she knew me well. Obviously he should have stared at her with a happy look. Then timidly thinking about behaving well in front of her. I hope to get Du Qingqing's incomprehensible like. As everyone knows, he thinks this is really utilitarian. It's annoying. Compared to the sympathetic stomachache that doesn't fight or grab. It's just one day at a time. Now Du Chuan is a little more pleasing to the eye. Thinking about what I did when I returned to the Du family. No solution finally came to a conclusion. This is just Du Chuan's desire to get away with it. Du Qingqing arranged today's topic flowers. The students began to work on the project. I don't care what Du Qingqing thinks of me anymore. Immerse yourself in the paintings. As long as you don't want to think about it, don't miss it. Originally, a relative who was more important to me than my life in my last life. To be able to seem so inconsequential. Just when I was engrossed, Du Qingqing's eyes fell on Du Chuan's body. Speaking of which, Du Qingqing is the first time to see me drawing. I'm very handsome. 17-year-old teenager. Perfectly inherited the genes of the Du family. A height of 88 meters. Scattered bangs. A fair, straight nose. Serious eyes. Hold a paintbrush. It has the style of an ancient art master. Temperament is such a thing. It must be cultivated from an early age. Carved into the bones. Otherwise, it will seem deliberate when you grow up. Make a poor imitation. Oddly enough, Du Chuan grew up in an orphanage, but he had such a demeanor. It's really thanks to the blood of the Du family. Du Qingqing shifted his gaze. Deliberately don't look at me. Suddenly, someone screamed softly. It is the school flower Willow Hall. Stand at the window. He had a bottle of mineral water in his hand. Beautiful eyes quietly looked at the younger students in the classroom. Reached out and ran a strand of hair through his ear. The white and delicate swan neck is revealed. His gaze was fixed on me. It's just that I'm immersed in painting. I didn't care about the sight of the Willow Hall. Even Du Qingqing didn't care about it. I don't care about other women anymore. Du Qingqing naturally discovered this. She walked out of the classroom. Ask Lu if there's something wrong. The scenery of Lu Shutan. Du Qingqing naturally heard of it. For such a talented student. As a teacher, it is inevitable that there will be a little more preference in my heart. Du Qingqing slowed down his tone. Try to be as gentle as possible. Lu Shutan nodded. Teacher. I want to go in and find a classmate. I can be the main writer of my novel adaptation of comics. After listening to Lu Shutan's words, Du Qingqing opened his mouth in surprise. Okay with your grades. There should be no shortage of manga adaptations. Lu Shutan lowered his eyes. I don't like their mock-ups. Du Qingqing thought to herself. Mature cartoonists don't like mock-ups. Just this group of students. Can you still enter the eyes of Uncle Lu? Even if it's a key specialty student. But these children's drawings are too young. It's nowhere near as good as a well-honed cartoonist. Seeing that Lu Shutan had no intention of leaving, Du Qingqing could only speak. Just don't disturb the students. Lu Shutan not only has excellent grades, he also became a popular novelist. Now Lu Shutan is no different from not going to class. There is escort. You don't have to take the college entrance examination. The end of the professional class. Du Qingqing originally thought. I would be very enthusiastic to come up and say hello to her. I'm thinking about how to blame me when I get home. This behavior is too outrageous. If someone else finds out, I'm too intimate with her. What should I do if I think that I am the young master of the Du family, and my stomach hurts? As a result, I was mixed in with the crowd. Don't say hello. Leave as an invisible. It was like knowing all her thoughts. Chose the way she cared the most. Du Qingqing felt from my back. To the point of incomparable estrangement. It was Du Chuan who deliberately drew a distance from me. How is this possible? Du Qingqing, don't think too much. This must be Du Chuan's drama that wants to capture and indulge. In order to win my sympathy. Du Qingqing shook his head violently. When examining a student's drawing, Du Qingqing came to my painting. The moment I saw my work, Du Qingqing couldn't help but be stunned. Du Chuan painted a lotus flower with buds waiting to be released. Commonplace subject matter. It's so vivid under my brush. Rich in vitality. It's like seeing it with your own eyes. Even if you don't need Du Qingqing as an artist. The ability to taste. You can see it. Du Chuan's painting is flawless. Can't fault the slightest. What the hell is going on? Du Chuan's painting technique turned out to be so powerful. Why didn't I see it before? Du Qingqing muttered to himself. Could it be that I misread Du Chuan in the past?